everyone. Hi, how are you doing? I hope everyone is doing good. So welcome to another video of respiration and circulation. In the previous video, we were talking about the composition of blood. We discussed about the RBC structure and its function and different characteristics of RBCs, erythrocytes. We also discussed about leukocytes and its type, granulocytes and agranulocytes. That is in granulocytes, we saw eosinophil, basophil, and neutrophil. Their shape, size, and their function. And in agranulocytes, we saw monocytes and lymphocytes. Okay, now in this video, we will be completing the composition of blood with the last topic, that is thrombocytes and platelets. And why are they required? I mean, their major function in the function is to coagulate blood, that is blood clotting process. And finally, we will be summing up the topic with the function of blood. Okay, so basically coagulation means clotting of blood. Okay, the blood will clot and form a thick covering on wherever there was any wound or injury. So this process is known as hematostasis, wherein if there is any damage, internal damage or external injury or any wound or any cut, so to prevent the blood loss. Okay, so hemostasis mechanism is to prevent the blood loss through the injuries. So a blood clot, which will be in the form of gel, it will be formed. It is made up of various cells, formed elements, your WBCs, your RBCs, your fibrinogens. All of that will come together and will make a meshwork, a clot, which will close the cut. Okay. So it is made up of formed elements of the blood entangled in fibrin threads, as you can see in the picture. Okay. So major role of this blood clotting, coagulation of blood is brought about by platelets. So platelets are very important in clotting of the blood. The another name is thrombocytes. They are also known as thrombocytes. They are small colorless cell fragments in our blood that form clots, and by forming clot, by thickening the blood over there, they will stop or prevent the bleeding that is happening. Okay, so we will see a short video how this coagulation of blood is brought about. Okay, so let's begin.
Blood coagulation. Before we start the topic blood coagulation, let us take a glance of components of the blood. Red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets collectively constitute 45% of blood. Rest 55% of blood contains plasma. Fibrinogens are needed for clotting or coagulation of blood. Our body contains a natural process to stop bleeding from minor cuts in a matter of several minutes. When a small artery is cut, the collagen fibers in its tissue are exposed, which signals the clotting process to begin. As platelets begin to adhere to the cut edges, they release chemicals to attract even more platelets. Eventually, a platelet plug is formed and the external bleeding stops. Platelets attach to fibrinogen. The immobilized fibrinogen attracts the factor of blood coagulation. The factors of blood coagulation transform the fibrinogen in polymers of fibrin. Thrombokinase is an enzyme complex that is required for this reaction. This complex is formed by a series of linked enzymic reactions, cascade process, involving a number of factors present in the plasma in an inactive state. After the formation of fibrins, molecules of plasmins start to get attracted to fibrin net. Later on, these molecules destroy the fibrin net. The fibrinolytic degradation products are phagocyted by macrophages and eosinophils.
So as we saw in the video, the process of blood clotting, I have included this summary in the form of a flow chart. So when there is any damage, okay, any trauma or any cut or injury, so thromboplastin is released, okay. Along with that, blood platelets will come to that area wherever there is damaged tissue, okay. So they will come to the rescue. They will activate a factor. These are basically certain substances or cells which will help the coagulation process. So this thromboplastin and platelet together, they will require calcium and certain proteins to activate this enzyme thrombinase. This thrombin will convert the prothrombin into thrombin and some protein molecules, that is peptide fragments, okay, which will bring about the the rescue of the fibrinogen. They all will come at the place wherever there is this injury, where all this activity is taking place. They will convert themselves into monomers and then polymerize into fibrin polymer. Just what we saw in the video right now. So just represented that in a flowchart manner. So you can see the video again and just try to you know uh, analyze it step by step, okay. So this is how the blood process will take place. I will repeat it again. When there is a cut,
Blood coagulation.
fire all these factors, okay. So you have the red blood cells and you have these platelets, as you saw.
Platelets collectively constitute 45% of blood. Rest 55% of blood contains plasma. Fibrinogens are needed for clotting or coagulation of blood. Our body contains a natural process to stop bleeding from minor cuts in a matter of several minutes. When a small artery is cut, the collagen fibers in its tissue are exposed, which signals the clotting process to begin. As platelets begin to adhere to the cut edges, they release chemicals to attract even more platelets. Eventually, a platelet plug is formed and the external bleeding stops. Platelets attach to fibrinogen. The immobilized fibrinogen attracts the factor of blood coagulation. The factors of blood coagulation transform the fibrinogen in polymers of fibrin. Thrombokinase is an enzyme complex that is required for this reaction. This complex is formed by a series of linked enzymic reactions, cascade process, involving a number of factors present in the plasma in an inactive state. After the formation of fibrins, molecules of plasmins start to get attracted to fibrin net. Later on, these molecules destroy the fibrin net. The fibrinolytic degradation products are phagocyted by macrophages and eosinophils.
The last step is the fibrin layer formation, okay. The fibrin polymer is formed at the end. So that's it. Now this is the whole chart summary of whatever we have discussed up till now with regards to blood composition. This is just a go through. Definitely all the details are not there, but all the details are there. We have discussed in the video in detail. So this is just a go through, a quick short summary. You can go through for your own reference. And finally, we move to the function of the blood. So summarizing the function of the blood: transporting oxygen, carbon dioxide, nutrients, hormones, heat, base, etc. It maintains the pH, body temperature, and also the water-salt-water balance of the cells. Okay, it will protect you against any infection. It will help in clotting of the blood. Will prevent, try to fight back diseases with your white blood cells by secreting antibodies and other inflammatory substances and allergic substances that will help fight back all the different types of infections. Then that's all about the major functions of the blood. Now we have finished the topic of the blood vascular system, the composition of blood. Now we move to the next topic, that is the heart, which is the very important topic of the circulatory part of the chapter. So in the next video, we will be talking about the anatomy of the heart. We will mostly focus on the external structure of the heart. Then in the next video, we will talk about internal structure of the heart. So that is how we are going to move step by step. So keep revising. If you find any difficulty, reach out to me. Uh, till then, take care. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.